I was really digging that music.
I know, I
awesome.
know.
I'm getting jiggy with it.
All right.
I don't know
Hello,
whether to pull cards
everyone.
or rave.
Welcome. Happy New Year, because we haven't been on in a while, but
Yeah,
yeah, we're back.
we are back.
So don't mind me. I've got two screens going, so all right. We will do our little spiel. And I hope everybody can see the screen. These are my cards right here. And we'll do a little spiel is obviously we're doing tarot for arts and entertainment purposes only. And we do not do readings for medical, legal, and financial advice because there are people in those fields.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I do want to welcome, hello, Arshubar. Miss you, haven't seen you in a long time. Adam, mother of many ideas. Let's see, Josie and Joy. I know Joy, it's not your real name, but that's okay. We'll call you Joy for the purpose of what we see on the screen. Okay, so I think we'll begin. There's a little bit of a twist today. We're going to start off like we normally do. We do the weekly reading for everyone. And then after that, I'm going to pull 12 cards and we're going to go through a general collective reading for the year. And Kat and I will have input into each card. And then we're going to do live readings for everyone. So do you want me to start, Kat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So these are the three cards that I pulled for this week for the general collective. The first one here, I've got the Five of Cups. Okay. So the Five of Cups is really showing a little bit of sorrow, a little bit of loss, some pain going on, but it's an emotional state. Okay. The second card I have is kind of the polar opposite, and it's still cups, but it's the Ace of Cups. And this card is really all about new beginnings into romantic things, things that involve love, passion. Okay, so new beginnings. And lastly, I've got the Four of Pentacles here. And the Four of Pentacles is really, I mean, you think of four legs on a table, stability, okay? And then the Pentacles themselves, it's an earth sign, so you're very grounded. But this card really stands for savings, and that could be financial, it could be energy, it could be a whole bunch of things. So the way I look at this reading for this week, it's giving me a little bit of a hint to the past. So because of the five is showing loss, and then we have a new beginning, and the new beginning is reflecting of savings, I feel like there's been some kind of an endeavor in the previous month or the previous week where something didn't work out quite well. And now you feel a little bit of sorrow going, a little bit of a loss. However, there's going to be something new heading your way, right? So when you know, one door closes, another one opens. And with that, you're going to reserve your energy. You're going to reserve your money, your capital. Okay, so this new beginning is going to allow you to do those savings. Okay, so what do you think, Kat? I'll flip them over for you.
Yeah, I was going to say what that one thing you just said towards the end there was when one door closes, another door opens. And that's exactly what I think the cups are saying. It's just try not to over focus too much on the losses, because you may not see the opportunity that's coming around the corner. And then you have the Four of Pentacles, which is about It's about being a little tight with your finances, right? But
Yep.
Just again, that cups to me softens that card a little bit. Like you always have to look at how the cards are aspected, right? So the fact that it's next to that Ace of Cups tells me that there may be some finances that are required for this new beginning, and you may be reluctant to let go of the money, but it's, to me, the cards are saying it's time for you to maybe rethink your finances, and this is worth that.
Yeah.
For this Ace of
Exactly.
Cups. So interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I got a 5-2, so my cards are interesting. So I pulled a devil, and the only upright card I pulled was a devil, and then flanked by 2 swords, the page in reverse and the 5. So different, like I didn't get any of your suits. My suits, again, being swords and being, flanking this devil makes me think that there's the advice this week is, don't be a gossip monger. Try not to be too petty or gossipy. It looks like there's maybe for some of you, it's a bit of a guilty pleasure for for you to indulge in gossip, but it's not going to help with your strategy either. 5s typically mean change and uncertainty, and that you're sort of at a point where there's several different ways you could go, which is why it's interesting that you pulled a 5 as well, Steve, because for some of us, we're at a bit of a crossroads here. And so this actually is a little bit of a better card reversed, I think, than it is upright, meaning that your strategic strategies may pay off for you, but at what price? I think there's a warning here to just try to be more honest and forthright in your communications. What are your thoughts on these, Steve?
Yeah, just review what you pulled, because I was too busy with the cameras there for a second.
Okay. I pulled the Page of Swords in reverse.
Okay.
I pulled the Devil and the 5 of Swords in reverse.
Yeah, so it's almost like there's been a conflict of avoidance somewhere along the lines with that 5 in reverse. And we know what the devil's all about. Those are addictions to sex, drugs, alcohol, relationships, things you can't break free from. And the page, in reverse is telling me that the messages are not coming forth, right? So messages about truth, about new discoveries and things like that, it's not coming forth. And to me, the way I read that is that it seems like the devil's in control this week of your spread.
Yeah. He's right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Totally.
And it's funny because it's like, he's being a little bit of a trickster this week is what I'm getting, because the truth is not coming out. So the conflict is being avoided. But it's almost like it's staying there for when the devil feels like releasing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be an interesting week for those that resonate with Kat's cards, because it's almost like a waiting game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Don't let that devil win, people.
Yeah. And I do want to welcome Margaret, Coco Bear, Coco Bean, and Anna. Thanks for joining. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do now is, as I promised, I'm going to pull the 12 cards. I'll flip them over one by one. Kat will have her input, and this is 1 card per month of the year for a general collective read, okay? All right, so I'm going to put the camera back on. Here. Well, we got the right camera angle. Okay.
Very interesting year coming up. We have a lot of interesting celestial events happening. We have interesting events happening on the political sphere. There's a lot of interesting things that are happening in our local community. I think this is the year of some turning points for many of us.
I agree. Okay. So 12 cards. Well, something tells me they're not all going to fit here. That's okay.
You might have to go a bit wider.
Yeah. Okay. I like to do it by quarter because I like to do like a little summary by quarter as well.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right. So we'll start off with the first one here. And so for the month of January, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So Ace of Pentacles, this is all about new messages regarding finances, right? Usually they're positive ones, but messages could be negative as well. In the sense of, hey, hold on to your money, don't spend it. Okay. What are your thoughts on this card?
Well, January, I think money is on a lot of people's minds because they're a little tapped right now. So, but to me, that's encouraging. It sort of says, okay, there's, I think people have been really, really frugal over the holidays, and I think we're in a better position now, maybe than previous Januaries, because we've been a little bit more tight-fisted, or just not even tight-fisted. I don't know, that's not the right word. I think that, and I can only speak for myself and the people that I've spoken to, and it's that they're starting to let go of the belief that Christmas is about gifts. I know in my family, we didn't do a lot of gifts this year, not just because we didn't have a ton of money to spend, but because we just felt like it was tiresome, the having to go out and buy gifts. For us, it was more about togetherness. It was more about people coming together as a family. And so I wouldn't be surprised if people are sort of in the same boat where they're a little bit more flush than they normally are, because they haven't bought into the commercialism that has been the theme for all of our Christmases in recent memory.
I agree. Okay, so for February, we've got the Two of Pentacles. So interesting. We got the 1 and the 2, and trust me, you saw me shuffle.
I saw you shuffle.
And so the Two of Pentacles really is all about balance.
Mhm.
Okay. So it could be balancing, your job. So like projects at your job, you need to balance those because the workload is getting heavy. Or it could be a sense of balance in between like the work and the home life and things like that. So it almost seems like there's new beginnings in January, and February. It's saying, whoa, these beginnings are now starting to become a little bit more than anticipated, and we're looking for that balance. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. You know what, too? This is like January, although Pope Gregory has decided this was going to be the beginning of, or whoever it was, the Gregorian calendar is what we're following, right? This is January 1st is supposed to be the beginning of the year, but a lot of us don't believe January 1st is the beginning of the year. We believe it's a time to save your money and to get your resources together and to prepare for the real beginning of the year, which is spring, which is the beginning of March, or the spring equinox. Is technically, for a lot of people that have those pagan beliefs, that's the beginning of the year, because that's when spring comes. That's when things are born. We're still in a time of hibernation and really short days. And so I think this is January and February maybe are saying it's time for you to shore up your resources, just sort of get your money together and prepare for the real beginning of the year, which is soon to come.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, interesting. So March, because you're talking about March is like new beginnings and so on. We've got the Chariot. Okay. So the Chariot is really basically taking the bull by the horns and steering it where you want it to go. So the Chariot is the younger version of the Emperor. This is a very masculine figure, but more on the juvenile side, so it can be a little bit careless. And overall, I would say that the way things are going for the first 3 months, the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Chariot, I really, I resonate exactly with what you're saying, Kat, is the financial situation, it could be an issue January, February. And for many people, I think it's more along the lines of being tight with the money. Okay. And then come March, it's almost like, okay, it's almost like a reward in a sense. You've been able to save, you've been able to keep things balanced and tight, and now you can steer where you want it to go. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I love see March. March being a lot of people believe that it's the true beginning of the year, and the fact that we're seeing a major arcana there
Yep.
kind of, I don't know, feels like that almost
Confirms it.
confirms what I just said.
Yep.
I also like the Chariot because it's a card about fate and about you're steering it, but because you've got your resources in place, the work that you've done this month and next month, the work that you'll be doing is going to pay off. In March, you're going to have the freedom to be able to follow your goal, follow the path that you want to go. There's a lot of us are now looking at what do we want to this year. I think a lot of people are, I don't know, I'm just feeling like a lot of people more than normal are looking at life differently now and reevaluating their priorities and what do they want to do with their life. Is it just going to be about more of the same, or are they going to take bold steps towards something they really want to do? And if they are, in March, it seems like the cards favor that.
Yeah. And the Chariot could also represent travel.
Mhm.
So it's a good possibility that you've been saving your cash here, and you're going to now maybe splurge a little bit and travel somewhere. So it looks, honestly, the first 3 months of the year don't look so bad.
No, they don't.
All right. April, we've got the Seven of Cups. Okay. So the Seven of Cups is about having a lot of choices and really not knowing which one to pick. So there could be a little bit of confusion here.
And overwhelm.
Yes. And it's because it's cups, it's a card about emotions, passion, and that's where the overwhelm comes from, like you mentioned, Kat. So in April is generally what we refer to as this month, the spring month, with March. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one.
Well,
You
the March activities, whatever they may be, for who's, whether it means travel or whether it means following a soul journey, may result in a little bit of the consequence of that coming out in April may mean that you've got decisions to make you've never had to make before, right? If you're thinking along the lines of a new endeavor, especially, it may present you with some confusion and some decisions you weren't prepared to make.
Yep. And we'll see what's aspected right after April, so in May. So I'm just going to pull these three cards a little bit aside here, so that way I can shift everything up. All right. Okay, so May, we've got the Fool. So the Fool really is all about new beginnings. So it seems like you're contemplating the choices here, but in April, and come May, it seems like that choice has been made and a new beginning is had. And with the Fool, you're taking a leap of faith. You don't really know what you're getting yourself into. It is the card at the very beginning of the major arcana, numbered 0. It is a lot about innocence and risk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts for May?
And starting over, like in March, some of us maybe took leaps that resulted in the confusion in April, and now in May we're like, okay, that didn't work. Let's try something else. And the beginning of a journey, of a second, because mistakes are the best teachers, and sometimes it means we get a mulligan, a do-over, and it's another major arcana. So whatever it is, for those of you who are finding yourself starting over something in May, that it's obviously something, it's the beginning of a journey that you're taking, and it comes after a time of a bit of uncertainty. And so sometimes the Fool is about, it's about innocence, but also about having the right intentions and looking for positive experiences in life. So to me, it's still a positive. I still think it's good.
Oh, I agree. Okay,
message.
June. All right, so June, we've got the Queen of Cups.
Mm,
Yeah. And the Queen of Cups, this again, emotional card.
mhm,
The Queen of Cups, she's really about intuition. She has a lot of intuition. Think of a mother, so very compassionate, very caring, very nurturing.
mhm.
Um, and she can be, there's an inkling of creativeness when it comes to the Queen of Cups.
Yeah.
So, with this new beginning, it seems like you're heading on the right track. It seems like things are going well
Mhm,
emotionally. Um,
mhm,
yeah, I just, I really like the next 3 months here. So April, May, June,
mhm.
again, seems somewhat good. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on the Queen of Cups?
Yeah, she can represent an aspect of yourself as well
Hmm.
as a person, right? So for some of you, that's getting connected with the nurturing side of yourself and having that the nurturing aspect at the phase of the journey that you're on there. It could mean that you've arrived at a point where you're just feeling that deep, deep gratitude and that deep peace and contentment in your journey that you've come through maybe a very uncertain time, and now you're coming out the other end of it and you're really at peace with where it's headed. So yeah, it looks like a lovely June for those that this is resonating with, for sure.
Yep. All right, so let's push these out of the way. July. What do we have for July? Oh, the Knight of Wands. So the
Mhm.
Knight of Wands is very, very action oriented. Okay. It is the fastest knight in the deck. It really is all about passion, fire, creativity. And the knight is um, someone who acts so quick that they forget about the consequences of what they're going to do or what they're about to do. Okay, so in July, I would say, be careful in how quickly you move on something. Try to think it out first. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of flow, a lot of fire, a lot of movement in July. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that the universe is going to clear the path for you, whatever journey you're on, whatever endeavors you're following. I think in July, there's going to be action and there's going to be a lot of movement in that, not only for your own doing, but because the universe is kind of laying it out for you there. And another interesting, for whatever reason, it's coming to me that the cards that you just took, the card that was immediately above that was the Seven of Cups, right?
Yes.
And it's aspecting the Seven of Cups too.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a warning, I think, too, to not act too hastily. Don't act with a confused mind. Make sure that you've taken the time to understand and demystify everything. Don't act without forethought and without getting clarification. Is another way that I would look at that, just because of how it's aspected.
Exactly. Oh, interesting. This came out before in our weekly reading. So this is now August. It is the Five of Cups.
Mm,
So that makes perfect sense. So
yeah.
to me, you've in July you've acted upon something without thinking the consequences, and now you have to face the losses or the sorrow that has come
Hmm.
from the previous month.
Hmm.
Again, there still is, uh, one cup that's usually full in the Five of Cups. And so, really, there still is hope. There's hope in that things are going to change and they're going to move forward and become better. So,
Yeah. And a reminder that things don't always go perfectly according to plan, right?
yeah,
There's sometimes going to be some disappointments, but if something doesn't go quite according to plan, or excuse me, there was a loss or something that maybe you feel is a bit of an obstacle, it might actually not be. There's still the rest of those cups, like you say, that are there, and I get the sense that those are the important cups for August, that you maybe shouldn't be paying attention to the ones that you've lost, but focus on the ones that you still have.
okay. September. Oh, we've got the Ace of Cups.
Well,
Okay, so again, new beginnings here when it comes to emotional aspects, love, creativity, anything that really strikes your fancy with your emotions, right? So it could even be a hobby that you really are passionate about.
mhm.
Um, and it's you're actually starting it. You're taking it up from the beginning. Again, this is very much like the reading for the weekly collective, where you let go something it has been done where you feel loss or sorrow. But again, I'm going to keep saying the same saying: when one door closes, another one opens. So there is a new beginning that's happening in September. What are your thoughts?
September, again, it's the beginning of a new month, right? Maybe in August, we're part of what we're bemoaning is the summer. For a lot of us, the summer is the best time. We have the longest days, we're the most productive. We've got the vitamin D, so we're in a great mood. So the end of the summer is sometimes a bit of a sad time, but September looks like the fall holds a bit of promise this year, guys. It looks like we've got an opportunity for some very meaningful beginnings, for whether it's a passion project, something that's maybe close to your heart, something family related, whatever it is that is going to fill your heart with that feeling of gratitude. It looks like September is going to be another opportunity. It looks like we've got a year full of opportunities here, guys, where I'm not seeing anything discouraging in these cards. It's all good news.
Okay, and I feel like, well, I just pulled the weekly thing right in a row again. So Four of Pentacles, and you saw I shuffled and shuffled and shuffled,
Yes. And cut. Yeah.
and cut.
Yeah.
So Four of Pentacles really again about saving money. So we're looking at October here. Very good times to start saving money, honestly, for Christmas spending if that's your thing. And getting ready for that excessive amount of spending. So keep your resources tight. October in Canada is also Thanksgiving here. And the force is a sign of stability, right? So even though it's showing that you're withholding your resources and saving your money, it is a card about stability, and I like that. It's showing that we are on stable ground.
It's also October. It's also the month of the harvest too.
Yeah.
So it could be talking about the harvest. Make sure you've got for those of you that are starting out and growing food and trying to adopt nature's rhythm with your garden, because a lot of people, apparently this is taking off this year. A lot of people are trying their hand at food cultivation, and October is a key month for that, to be very mindful of your harvest. Make sure you've got everything in, you've got your pickling, your canning, it's kind of, it really does espouse what people tend to do in the fall. Is you're getting ready for this, in our case, we do spend money for the holidays, but even just your food, you're saving, you're stocking your pantry, you're getting ready for the slower seasons. So I think it's a very suitable card for October.
November. We've got Temperance.
Okay.
So Temperance, again, this card is also about balance, but it's about healing, it's about guidance, it's about meditation. It's when you think of this card, you think almost of an angel, you think of peace and harmony. And so, November, I'm gonna say it's a good month. Everything's kind of calm, chill.
Yeah, you're going within, you're making sure that you're living your true life, what as within, so without, right? You're making sure that you've got you're balancing your heart, your mind, your body, in all aspects of your being. I like how it supports the Four of Pentacles a little bit, in that being mindful of your resources, being mindful of how much you're giving and taking, and what's coming and going. And then the card right above it is the Five of Cups.
Yep.
Again, it's another introspective card. It's another card that's saying maybe time to sort of look a little bit more closely at some of your attitudes and your beliefs, and question Is this really helpful? Is this really for my greatest good? November is a time for reflection, it looks like, and some doing some inner balance.
Yep, I agree 100%. In December, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is all about you putting in a lot of hard work into something, and there's success there, but it's not fully out, and you're waiting for it, and sometimes it can be frustrating.
Mhm.
So this card was really all about patience, I want to say, overall. Okay. So in December, it seems like we need to have patience. And, right away, when I think of that, I think of, everyone going out rushing to get Christmas gifts, and it's a total disaster out there, and people lose patience, right? So it seems like we're coming from a month of calmness to a month of, hey, things that I've done a lot of work, they're somewhat successful, they're potentially successful, but it's frustrating because you're not seeing the rewards just yet.
I like how your temperance is flanked by two pentacles.
Yep.
So that tells me that the November temperance is going to be more about your resources, more about your not money, maybe money, but property, resources, financial, whether they're material, money, food, land, anything like that. And how you're starting the year with a pentacle and ending it with a pentacle too, which is also interesting. You're the shape that you were in at the beginning of the year with that Ace of Pentacles. By the end of the year, you're at Seven of Pentacles, which tells me that, I mean, the Seven of Pentacles is a card of hard work, right? You've worked really hard. You're going to be in a good position. It looks like if you play, pardon the pun, if you play your cards right, you're going to be in a nice financial position at the end of the year. If this is your soul journey to follow, starting out the year strong, going through some exploring some different soul paths that maybe you want to take with some good results, maybe the results not what you thought they were going to be, but some solid learning and lessons coming out of that, and some awakening. It looks like we've got some awakening, and we've got some, again, those pentacles being grounding at the end of the year in
Yep.
the future. You're
Yep.
on solid ground. It's a lovely year in my
Yep.
opinion.
I agree. I don't really see any negative cards here.
Hmm.
Just a couple of little bumps, but nothing
Yeah,
major.
yeah. Yeah, I do think this is going to be a really special year for many, many reasons. But I think the other theme that I got from these cards, just kind of taking a step back and looking at the big picture, is living intentionally. I'm getting these cards to me are telling a story of an intentional life. So no more just kind of going through the motions. Wake up in the morning, brush the teeth, get the coffee going, whatever your day to day is. I see and hear that the story I'm seeing is that there's going to be some change, some very, like, at a deep level, with how people are living their lives, and no longer just sort of falling into autopilot, more taking the bull by the horns and doing things that maybe we were a little nervous to try in the past.
Yep.
They
Well,
say
no, go
um,
ahead.
the average person has 60,000 thoughts a day, right? We've all heard that metric. But according to Dr. Joe Dispenza, 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts we had the day before. And because your thoughts are your reality, how can you ever expect anything to change if you're thinking the same thoughts every day? So I'm seeing in this spread that people are starting to shake it up a little bit and think a little bit differently. That Seven of Cups is saying, oh my God, I'm in unfamiliar territory here. I don't know what to do. But the Fool is saying, well, here we go. We're just going to give it a shot and see what happens. And then after that, we've got a lovely Queen of Cups, feeling good about the journey. We've got what's that one below that guy.
Nine of Wands.
Nine of
Knight.
Knight of Wands, fast motion. Things are moving. The universe is getting all the obstacles out of your way, and some minor setbacks after that, followed by new beginnings and grounding. I don't know, guys. I think I've got I'm really encouraged by what this is saying.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of quick things in my overview as well. there's a lot of pentacles in this spread, and there's a lot of cups. So I almost feel like, yes, money, financial issues are always going to be a concern because we need that to live. However, I feel like the emotional aspects of this is what's going to trump everything, and we're probably going to want to do, wherever we make money or those resources, it's going to be more from an emotional aspect. We're not just going to go to work mindlessly and thinking, oh, it's going to pay the bills. You want something in your life that you enjoy to do, so that brings the income in. So that's where I see. And the three major arcanas, the way they're falling to me is you're steering yourself in a direction to start something new. And that something new is leading to some kind of balance, some kind of harmony in your life overall.
Yeah.
So again, I see really good things happening here, for the general collective, regardless of whatever's happening in the world at the moment.
I think you should take a picture of the spread so we can remember these cards, because it might be a good idea to do. We can discuss this, but we've been playing around with sort of new formats and what we want to do going forward, because we feel like it's time to shake things up a little bit. Maybe we do. So we're in January now. And the theme for this month is the Ace of Pentacles. Maybe at the beginning of February, when we do our read on February 2nd, maybe we pull the February card and we do a read around that, and see what else comes up to aspect that for the month of February.
Okay, so let me take a picture and then we'll get to the live audience. All right. Let's see, where's my camera?
Another thing too that just struck me, the the Ace of Pentacles in January. So January 25th is when all the planets align. So the way that she's holding it, almost looks like a star in the sky.
Yeah.
Indicating that planetary alignment that's being planned.
You're right.
5th. Isn't that cool?
All right. So let's remove these. I've got a picture. We can always review this in January 2026.
Yeah. Hey. We'll have a look back. You're like, whoa.
Yes. So I'm not sure if there's anyone online that would like a reading. Let us know. Put a comment in the comment section. I'm going to remove this camera in the meantime, and I'm going to display this for one quick second. So if anyone, any one of you would like a year ahead reading, just DM me, check out my link tree, check out the link in the bio. I pull the 12 cards, but then there's also 3 cards that they're extra and they're more of an in-depth overview. Okay, so again, if you want that reading, check out the link in my bio. All right.
And is that a general read, Steve, or is that like
it's for individual?
Like if somebody chooses that reading with you, is it a general read, or is it like based around a question?
You can do either. Yeah, you can do either. So usually it's more on the general side, but you can bring in a subject. So absolutely, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I want to welcome to Sincerely Mo. Hey Mo, how's it going? So Mo, we just finished the year review, and we're just about to start our live audience reading. So Mo, if you would like a reading right now, just let us know. We're going to pull a card for you, and see how your week is going to look out for you. And if there's anyone else, let us know. Just put a comment, an emoji, anything in the chat box. I know we were a little longer today than usual. All right, so Mo would like a reading. So, Kat, do you want to do your old method as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, perfect. So Mo, what we're looking for, because Kat does hers in a specific way, let us know if you're under or over 30 and your astrological sign. And actually, I want to switch. I want to switch decks for you, Mo. I want this one. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I've got somebody at the door. I will be right back, guys.
All
Just
right.
give me a sec.
Yeah. And she's over in Scorpio. Okay. Just bear with us, Mo, while Kat takes a look at who's at her door. And hopefully everything is okay. And Cocoa Bean. Yes, you will be up as well. And Cocoa Bear. Perfect. All right. We're just going to give it a second for Kat to come back. All right. Mo, this is going to be your card. Okay. Oh, that's interesting, Mo. Okay, so Mo, I've got the death card. So it's really death and rebirth. This is a major arcana card, Mo. I'm not sure if you know tarot very well, but major arcana is basically a life lesson that you need to learn or it's about to happen. And there's something that, that needs to be let go of in order for something new to begin. And that's what the death card really represents. So, let go of something, something's just no longer serving you. The unfortunate thing, the death card is usually a very slow process of letting go. It's not like ripping off the band-aid. It's going to take some time. Okay. Now, because Kat's gone, I'm going to pull the second card for you. I've got the 10. Oh, you're back.
Sorry.
That's
Just,
okay.
Security guard. We're having some security issues in the condo, and you just
Oh, okay.
doing some door knocking. So sorry about that.
So I pulled the first card for Mo. She is over 30 and Scorpio. Okay.
Queen of Cups. Okay, perfect. I will pull her card now.
So while you look for her card, I'll tell you what I pulled for her. It was the death card. Okay.
Oh no, it's not a bad card.
Not necessarily, no.
Not necessarily bad card. It is
So
intimidating to look at, though.
Yeah. So Mo, let's see what Kat pulls, and then they'll aspect each other and give us a little bit more clarity.
Another perspective. So I've got the Knight of Rods, Knight of Wands. So this is a lot of movement following the change, or maybe around the change. So the Death card talks about more metamorphosis, right? Things changing, but the Knight means that it's going to mean there's a lot of action around it. So a very dynamic time of change for you, Mo. I don't know if that resonates or not.
Yeah, so the way I see it now, Mo, that the second card was pulled, the Knight of Wands. Mm-hmm. Knight of Wands, again, very action oriented. So what this is telling me is that, you know what, there's a lot going on with you right now. And the Death card is basically saying, there's a couple of things you might have to drop to restore that balance within yourself and within your just yourself in general. Okay. Yeah. So if you have a lot going on right now and you need to drop something, that's your hint. So Mo, if that resonates with you, let us know in the comment section. Okay, then we have Cocoa Bean.
Cocoa Bean, I've got Cocoa Bean here.
Yeah.
Cocoa Bean, King of Swords. General read?
Yeah. So Mo is saying, I love them both. All true.
Good.
Okay, that just came flying out. So Cocoa Bean, this one's going to be for you. Okay. Not a nice card. I'm going to say that.
Oh, no. Just looking for the king here.
Okay, while you do that, I'll go ahead. So Cocoa Bean, you've got the Ten of Swords. So the
Mm,
Ten of Swords, again, something that's happening in your life right now that's not so good. It could be a lot of backstabbing that's going on, maybe truth not being spoken about, a lot of things being overwhelmed. But the
hmm.
good thing is that it's a 10, which means it's coming to the end of a cycle. Now
Yep.
let's see what Cat has pulled to aspect this card.
The Ace of Swords.
Okay. Is it up? Is it upright?
It's upright.
Okay.
It's
So
upright. So we have an ending followed by a beginning.
yeah. And this is
So
because they're both swords.
yeah.
I'm getting right now that there's a lot of mental stuff that's going on, maybe mental anguish, a lot of thoughts, a lot of things going on in the head, and that's what's going on with swords. That's why you've got both swords.
It's
Let
so
us know, yeah. Let us know if that makes sense, Cocoa Bean.
you
Um,
never see that. You never pull a 10 and 0. Like, I mean,
yeah,
you don't that often. That's unusual.
yeah. And now we have Cocoa Bear.
Cocoa Bear, Queen of Cups.
Okay.
Mm.
You got it? Okay, go ahead. Yep.
So we've got the Eight of Wands in reverse, which typically you want to have this card upright because it means there's a lot of stuff happening. It's sort of like the Knight of Wands a little bit, but it's in this case it's about things happening kind of in the background in your life. But when it's in reverse, it means there's a lot of action, but it's not going in the right direction, or it's not focused in the right area. Could also mean things are going a little bit more slowly than normal.
There's a little bit of a delay.
A delay could be a delay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got the World.
Hmm.
So the World is generally a really good card. That means that, you're closing out a chapter in your life and something new is beginning.
Hmm.
But, with Cat's card, that's telling me it's not quite there. It's starting to close off, but it's not happening as quick as you want it to, or as quick as it should be. So, if there's a chapter that's coming to an end in your life, Cocoa Bear, and it's taking a while, now you know why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why it's taking a while. That's a question for a full spread with Steve. We
Yeah.
can tell you what, we can't really tell you the why.
All right. Let us know if that resonates, Cocoa. Cocoa Bear. Okay.
Or even just how to negotiate these things too, right? Like that's a really great use case for a card read. Is your initial read is telling you stuff that's maybe not helpful, isn't giving you full information. So
Yep.
no better way to get proper advice than through a full-on read that adds all kinds of dimensions to the situation.
Exactly. Okay. I don't see any other readings. So I think that's
Right.
it. All right. We did
We got
well.
a lot of insights tonight. We got our weekly insights and we got our year ahead glimpse. And that's to be continued. I think we're going to do the deep dive into each month at the beginning of the month, right? Going forward, maybe.
I like it.
Kind of a fun way to do it. So, yeah. All right. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy new calendar year, everyone. And new business year for a lot of people. It's still a year. It's still a time for fresh starts in the planning phase. There's a lot of things that we're still planning right now that maybe we can't do just yet, but it doesn't mean you can't set goals and you can't look ahead. So.
All right. Thanks, Kat, and thanks everyone for showing up. And we'll be back again next week.
We'll see you next week, everybody. Have a great week.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.